Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Monday, August 31st, 2015. It's the last day of August. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. Shares in China's major brokerages tumbled after four employees of the largest brokerage firm in China, CATEX Securities, were arrested over the weekend. The industry has been told by the government to contribute another 100 billion yuan, or about 15.7 billion US, to the Chinese stock market rescue fund. Shares in the nation's largest brokerage fell as much as the maximum allowed 10% on the Shanghai stock market earlier today and slid to the lowest level in 2 years. The Chinese Security Regulatory Commission ordered the rescue fund contributions at a meeting over the weekend with 50 brokerages. The regulator encouraged listed brokerages to buy back shares worth as much as 10% of their total market value. This is interesting because it comes just after a Bank of America warning saying that Chinese brokerage firms may suffer as a result of the stock market crash. It's also interesting because the Chinese government is the largest shareholder in many brokerages. So ordering the brokerages to increase their rescue contributions is something that means that it's automatically going to happen. The rescue program for the stock market was revived on August 27th after the big downturn in Chinese stocks. The latest report, according to the Chinese media, on stock-linked corruption focused on 6 people, including the heads of CATEX financial business and alternative investment, as well as a securities official in the government and a journalist. The journalist had been arrested last week. He is a respected reporter for K Jing, and he had admitted to wrongly reporting on July 20th that the Securities Commission was studying an exit from support measures. This caused panic and confusion in the market. He now is apparently cooperating in the hope of a reduced punishment. 2 calls to K Jing, the news outlet for which he works, went unanswered. Meanwhile, in China as well, authorities are saying that the death toll from the massive warehouse explosion in Tianjin has now increased to 158. Some 15 people still remain missing. It's not known how the tally went up from 150 to 158. But in fact it did. Among the dead are 94 firefighters, 11 policemen, and 53 civilians. The Italian energy company Eni announced the discovery of a supergiant natural gas field off the Egyptian coast. It's not only going to help boost the Italian company's cash flow, but it's also going to help the country of Egypt. The find, which the CEO said is the largest gas discovery in the Mediterranean, includes some 30 trillion cubic feet of gas. Egypt's energy demand is rising as the Arab world's largest population grows, making the country much more dependent on imports provided by Persian Gulf states. According to a Dubai-based analyst at Manar Energy Consulting, a find of this size should be enough to cover a lot of Egypt's energy gap. They'll likely have to meet domestic needs before any export plans are discussed. This will also put a damper on Israeli plans to export gas to Egypt. Israel, of course, had announced their finding of their own giant gas field. Hurricane Fred has been announced. It's about 100 and so miles away from the Cape Verde Islands. And the Cape Verde Islands off the coast of Africa have initiated a first ever, apparently, hurricane warning. Fred has got winds already of about 80 miles per hour. It's expected to begin weakening tomorrow, but at least for the Cape Verde Islands, they've got their eye on it. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, Hurricane Jemina has turned into a monster and has sustained winds of 150 miles per hour. It's a Category 4 storm. Fortunately, it's about 1,400 miles east of Hawaii, and it's moving west-northwest, way out of the proximity of any land. And in the southeastern U.S., heavy rains are inundating the area as a result of Tropical Storm Erika. Flood warnings have been issued in Florida. Also in Charleston, South Carolina, 5 inches of rain fell this morning during rush hour traffic, and flash flood warnings have been instituted there. In the Caribbean, on the island of Dominica, some 20 people died after 13 inches of rain fell in 12 hours. causing what the country's prime minister said was monumental destruction. Puerto Rico saw 200,000 people lose power and millions of dollars of crops destroyed. In Spain, firefighters, soldiers, and residents are battling to extinguish a forest fire that has destroyed some 5,000 acres and of woodland and fields in northwestern Spain. 500 firefighters and soldiers worked through the night last night to put out a day-old blaze around the town of Cualedro. 9 water-carrying planes and 30 firefighter trucks have been deployed. The effort is being hampered by high summer temperatures and strong winds. And the 5th largest reinsurer in the world, based in Paris, Scor, has appointed a new chief operating officer, Nicolas Tissot. He's tasked, appropriately enough, with reinforcing operational excellence. Tissot had been the financial director at Alstom, a major French company, before joining Scor. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. It's a bank holiday in the United Kingdom. However, stock markets on the continent are open. And we'll see you tomorrow.